Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new segment, which we're going to talk about and discuss on our favorite pre workouts that we want to use. I'll start first, and we'll go over and we'll just go through from our number five to our top one, and we'll just discuss and go over it. Jared, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's get on to it. Now, if you guys haven't, you guys can go and look at our other videos that we have up on our YouTube channel. And let's start. All right, coming in at number 5 for me is this pre-gym high performance pre-workout. Now, I will say that the reason why it's my number 5, and I trust me, I haven't taken many pre-workouts, but this tends to be one of the worst. Hate to say it.
Well, how'd you even hear about it? Because, I don't know about you, but I've heard of I've heard of Jian, the GYM company before,
Well,
and I've never once thought of, well, I'll take a look at them because, in my opinion, and when I've looked up at their reviews, they're never that great.
well, well, for me, I am kind of hooked on this bodybuilding.com one,
Yeah.
but when I was like, I need to get a new pre-workout, I need something new, I need something more intense for me,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of started browsing. And then from there, I landed on this where it is pretty cheap, but not super cheap, where you can get a decent amount of scoops per uh, per container. So
Right.
I came across this and it came out better reviews and everything. I don't know if it's just automated where someone really just cranked this number up when it really isn't. But
Right.
from the most part, my research came out for this one to actually be the one I should try. Well, and then over here they have this nice little feature where they can tell you, oh, this is their number one or this is their number
Yeah, it
two.
even says flavor rating, so it's
Yeah,
not based on what makes people feel the best. It's purely on just the
taste.
flavor.
Yeah, and unfortunately for me, pre-workout for me is either make or break when it comes to a good flavor. If
Oh,
I don't have a good
absolutely.
flavor, then it may give me extraordinary amount of energy, but I don't kind of want to take it away.
But if
I
it
don't want to
doesn't taste good, then you never want to take it, and
I don't
therefore
know.
it's just a waste of money.
Yeah, and then it's like what I'm doing now is like I'm just cringing, but trying to drink it so I can use it up and get another
Right.
brand. But anyways, so
And
I came over
we
here.
should also preface this by saying we're not sponsored by anyone and we're not
Yes.
taking shots at anyone. This is purely just our opinion.
Our opinion indeed. This is 100% our opinion. So we're trying to recommend what ones you might want to try next or ones that we've tried and what really breaks down and gives us the most energy and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But so I came over here and chose grape candy because it has a really good rating for everything else. Usually
Has
on
the
this,
highest rating on their options,
yep,
looks like.
all of it. Well, I get in the mail. I'm super excited to taste it. And all of a sudden, I put a big scoop in, which I've never seen a pre-workout show that you need 20 to 24 ounces of water for one scoop.
Holy cow. That's
Yeah.
insane.
So I thought, okay, that's interesting. I've never seen that before. Usually it's like 10 to 12 ounces or something like that.
Right. It's like, I think the most that I've seen is like 12 ounces. Most are typically like 6 to 8.
Exactly. And that's where I was like, okay, this is kind of odd at first. Same, a little bit smaller scoop than like C4 or some of the other ones I've tried. Well, when I put it in there, shook it up, it blended really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tasted it and it just tasted like toothpaste. It was disgusting. It still is. I'm not saying it
Ugh.
was, it just is. And so now I'm at this point where I'm trying to chug it down just to get it. And when it's 24 or 20 ounces or whatnot,
It's a lot of volume of supplement.
exactly. So you're just trying to chug
You're
it
just trying to
down.
put it back. Like, you're not even enjoying it at this point. You're just trying to Get it done so you can be done tasting it.
Exactly. And now that we got this not as good pre-workout,
Well,
how's
hang
the
on,
lip?
before you move on to the next one, I just want to say that go back to their flavor options. Go back to their flavor options. They've got all these other flavors, and most of them are combinations of stuff. Like you got
Oh,
raspberry lemonade, pineapple strawberry, and you've
ooh,
got some of these like pink lemonades and other things. Like they're combinations of flavors. They have grape candy. I don't know what it is about artificial grape, but it is always extremely bad or okay. There's never
it's never
been,
great.
it's never like, oh, I love this grape flavor. It's like grapes are all right. It's like decent. But the other side of that is it's also almost 100% the other time just god awful.
Exactly. And it
Artificial
just,
grape is never in the middle. It's always either extremely bad or okay.
I should have saw the warning signs when it's like, well, I could have got all these other like sounding good flavors, but I got grape candy of all of
Well,
them.
I mean, everybody has their own preference. Like, if I were you, I would have chosen the black cherry just because I like black cherry. But
Pink
like, there's
lemonade.
so many other options, and I wonder why grape candy has such a high flavoring. But again, this is just what you experienced, and
Not what everyone will. Yeah.
right. But it's still, you can at least take our advice that it may or may not live up to the hype.
Well, and that brings us to our number two or number four
Number
for me.
4
Number
for
four
you.
for me. It's lit, which a lot of whenever you go into GNC, I don't know if they're still doing this. I go in there every so often, but they always push for you to buy lit. I
Right.
guarantee
Because
there's
it's their own brand.
yeah, which don't get me wrong, tastes amazing, but I don't know if it's just my body or I've had many people say this as well, but
Mm-hmm.
it tastes amazing, but you get no energy out of it. You
Right.
physically you don't get energy out of it. And I mean, it lasts a while. 30 servings is a little
It's about
underestimated.
average. It's decent.
Yeah, but I mean, it definitely seems like it's a lot more than 30 servings, which is
Mm-hmm.
really nice. But it depends if you're a mounder or if you're just like a level the scoop kind of guy.
Right.
Depends on who's out there. I mean, to put it out there, they don't really have caffeine
They
like
don't have
true.
caffeine, which they have caffeine, but it's caffeine anhydrous, so it doesn't necessarily act as well. Um, some of the other things that I'm noticing about this is that this pre-workout does not have niacin, and that is a huge like I can't remember, and I'm not an expert on any of these chemicals and these compounds. I have a chemistry background and a slight biochemistry background. But again, that was a little while ago, and it's been a while since I've had to use it. But niacin is big on increasing the heart rate, I want to say, along with caffeine. They're both stimulants. But if you rely on just solely caffeine anhydrous, it's not going to be as effective. And the other thing is that everybody reacts to caffeine differently. So you
Agreed.
can't just rely on one thing necessarily.
Which now that I'm reading, I see that it does say that it has 250 milligrams,
Mm-hmm.
which is about 2.5 cups of coffee, I think. If
Yeah,
I'm
it's something like that. It's like an energy. It's like less than an energy drink, I think,
but
but slightly more than like 1 cup of coffee or something.
which I mean, usually when I get 300 milligrams, I feel it, and it gives me that energy that I need.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, when I drink this, I don't know if it's just like the mixture of it or whatnot, but I got this saying at least 2 or 3 times, thinking maybe it was just the batch that I got,
Right.
but never. I just did not get no pump,
Mm-hmm.
like no energy, no pump. It just felt like I took a flavored drink and that's it.
It's like flavored water essentially is what you
Yeah,
feel.
which is why I go into this
At
next
least they have the taste though. Like if you
Yeah.
go back down to their ingredients.
Oh, ingredients.
Yeah. So like they have like what they call the pump and nitrous oxide support, which is L-citrulline and nitrosagenine, which is an arginine silicate insidazole or something. I can't read it necessarily. But L-citrulline is a uh, amino acid. Yeah, I'm trying to remember back from my college days of chemistry. I'm pretty sure it helps with vasodilation, so it allows the veins in your body, the veins and arteries in your bodies, to increase in size, which is what helps with the pump in your muscles and also just looking more vascular overall. But it doesn't say how much they have, so it doesn't necessarily. It looks like 3 grams, which is pretty typical, but it's the only thing that they rely on, it looks like, so it's not gonna be super effective.
Which that's probably the reason why I didn't really get much out of it, but
Right.
still something. But for all you people that are listening out there and you're like, well, I got lit and it was actually really good, describe to us in either comment or something, describe what it actually did for you or whatnot, so that other people can actually see that it's not like either it's just me or there's other people out there that actually get something out of it or don't get something out of it.
Yeah, that are also experiencing the same things as you.
Exactly.
It's not a bad choice. Like if you're gonna start with something, it might be okay. Start off
Yeah.
place, but
I feel like this would be a good starting spot. But when I like 3 or 4 different kind of pre-workouts in, and you kind of know what you're looking for, and then you just kind of try something new, and it might not take because you are conditioned with other pre-workouts, you could probably try this for your first one and be like, hey, this actually works for me.
yeah. And that's the other thing is like I've been working out for about maybe 6 years now or something, and you've been pretty close to the same.
Yeah.
So like our bodies are used to taking these sort of supplements and are used to working out intensely. So like it takes a lot more for us, and different combinations of stuff work differently for us because we've been trained for so long, which is why I said like this is probably a good starting point for a lot of people because it's pretty decent. It's got decent chemicals and compounds, and like you said, it's got a great taste, which is honestly like a big plus.
And that's so, I mean, this could be really good, or it could just be like me, or just for me, honestly. I don't know. But that brings us into our number 3 spot, which is the Jian or
ENGN.
pre-workout, which is kind of odd naming, but not. But
Well, it stands for something. I can't remember what it stands for.
well, Evolution Nutrition.
Yeah.
Or
something. Yeah, Evolution Nutrition General and General Nutrition or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I might be just a toss up, or they just wanted to make a new brand. But this thing came out on number 3 because, for one, it has really good flavors.
Ooh, I like cherry limeade and blue raz.
Oh, cherry limeade just tastes like a.
I'm pretty sure I introduced you to cherry limeade.
You did, and I swear it was this one, but
I don't remember which one it was.
No, you didn't.
I knew I had a cherry limeade flavored pre-workout, probably like the 2nd or 3rd year that we had started lifting together, and you were hooked after that.
Yeah, and that was definitely a C4 cherry limeade. I know that.
Yeah, I think it might have been.
But this cherry limeade, tasted like it just tasted like a summer drink. It was perfect. And
tastes like a slushie, like one of those cherry limeade slushies.
Oh yeah, exactly. And this thing gave me loads of energy. And I mean
Mm-hmm.
loads of energy. I mean, I've had, which you'll see here later on, that I got pre-workouts that had crazy amount of energy, but this gave me a lot of energy. For
Yeah.
one, it gave me a lot of energy. Two, the flavors are amazing. The only reason why I came in third and not in first or second is because it it breaks down in the water, but it's still
Right.
a little like dusty when you're drinking it, which isn't
Like on the bottom or like as you're taking the drink?
bottom. It's just like
So it settles easily.
it settles extremely easily, but it's
Gotcha.
not like a too much where it's like, oh, I felt like I just scooped half that like scoop in my mouth just
Mm-hmm.
directly. No, it was just like a slight, maybe whenever you're done with the drink, it might be a slight residue of the pre-workout kind of settling at the bottom that just
Right.
didn't make it into your body. So
And that
other
could
than
probably easily be solved by just making sure that you add extra water as you go on, or just continuously like shaking it
shake
up
it
when you're
up,
drinking.
yeah. But usually whenever I make it, I don't usually let it sit. I usually drink it right away or
Mm-hmm.
continuously. But
Right.
it gave me a lot of energy. For one, it sounds bad, but uh, bodybuilding.com usually has a deal for this where it's a buy one get one free,
Right.
which 30 servings and getting two of them for the same price as $31.99 plus shipping,
Right.
handling, and tax and whatnot is a steal.
Right. Because 30 servings lasts you about a month. So you're basically getting 2 months worth of stuff for the
Yeah,
price of one.
two or more. And I mean, and bodybuilding makes it really nice where you can change flavors. So you can have two of these, but like you can have one of cherry limeade and the other one in like pink lemonade,
Mm-hmm.
which is phenomenal. And I mean, I was buying this whenever I was in college, so it's cheap and it lasts what feels like the entire semester.
Right. I mean, it's only
So,
$1.07 per serving, so like that's a pretty good deal.
and then whenever you add an additional one for free, then it's basically 50 something cents
Right.
per scoop.
Well, and like you said, you got a good pump from it too, which is the other thing that you want in a pre-workout, and it also gave you a lot of energy. And it's because looking at some of those top ingredients, it's got the niacin as niacinamide, which I talked about a few minutes ago earlier. That's a big thing that helps people. I want to say it's a heart rate increaser. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll have to look that up later. Maybe I'll put it in the comments or something. But that's a big thing that like people put in or companies put in a lot of their pre-workouts and stuff because like I said, it helps with increasing the heart rate and giving you energy. But the thing you have to be careful about with that stuff is that some people can get negative side effects. And that's, I mean, that is essentially with any of these ingredients in any of these pre-workouts. You got to be careful what you're taking because you could react badly to it. It's not a foolproof that everyone's going to react to it the same way, but especially with niacin, you got to be careful because some people can get sort of like high, not necessarily highs, but they get like real itchy and like their skin gets all flushed and
Oh
everything. So
yeah.
like you got to be careful with it, but it is a decent compound to have in a pre-workout to get a lot of energy, and it's got vitamin B12, which helps with staying focused and stuff. But yeah, it's a decent brand, decent, really good flavor, like you said. I mean, I don't know what other people's taste buds are like, but cherry limeade's always a safe bet for me.
Oh yeah, agreed on
So
that one.
I love cherry limeade.
Additionally, it has creatine in it, or a
Mm-hmm.
kind of a
It's a
combination.
creatine. Yeah, it's got creatine monohydrate, which is typical in a creatine pre-workout. It's also got magnesium creatine
I've never heard of it,
chelate.
honestly.
What?
The magnesium creatine.
Yeah. So that I think that just allows it to be carried into the cells easier. just
Okay.
based on the magnesium being a ionic compound. The other thing is that, like, when you're looking at pre-workouts, is a lot of people will say, like, oh, I don't want creatine because it just, makes me hold a lot of water weight. And some people are like, no, I want the creatine because it helps me with strength. What essentially happens with creatine is that whenever you're working out, your body uses creatine right away, creatine monophosphate right away, as a source of fuel and energy, and it has extreme high energy production and force output. So like it burns up really quick, but it also is like essential for like explosive movements or like pure all out strength of really quickly. So like it'll help with like your initial big lifts. Like let's say like,
Like
I don't know, like
maxing
you and
or
I were doing chest or something. We're trying to go for like a max out on bench or something. Like that would be, having creatine in our pre-workouts would be good for that, because we'll be able to lift heavy those first couple sets that we're trying to max out with. Now afterwards, whenever we're in the later portion of our workout, it's not going to be as effective, but it'll help in the initial part of our workouts.
yeah, and
Sorry, I just
that's
went real sciencey as I'm used to.
no, you're good. That's kind of what we need in this. And I mean, we're going to include some of that in here, but then we're also going to create our opinions as well. But
Mm-hmm.
Jared's perfect for the scientific stuff behind that, because I
Got
can't
a little
tell
bit
you,
of a background.
can't tell you half this stuff that I see back here. But
Yeah, it's all complicated shit.
yeah, you just gotta. Well, for me, I just pick out the couple things that I really want in it, and then
Right. Well, you
everything else.
look for the big stuff, obviously, and essential, and like we said, essential to a pre-workout is the flavor.
And that's where it just kind of need. And which, now that we got flavor, our top three have the best flavors that we've had, or I had. For our number two comes in at Shatter.
Shatter.
Now Shatter,
Also a GNC brand.
really did
Yeah,
not know
or
that.
no, it's Muscle Tech. My bad.
Okay.
Muscle Tech.
Yeah, because they, all I gotta say is this Miami spring break sounds weird, but it has all those fruits right there.
It sounds like a cocktail
Oh,
mix, to be honest.
it's so good.
I don't doubt it. I'm not saying it's not gonna
Oh,
taste good.
well, for one, this and my number one choice come in at a close number. This comes in at an extremely close number two. The
Right.
reason why it's number two is, for one, I've only had this several times, but every time I've never complained.
Which you
Um,
complain a lot.
yeah, to an extent. Well, especially when it comes to pre-workout, you kind of need a good.
Well, you get picky once you've been doing it for as long as we have.
Oh yeah, like you can't tell me that whenever you see something that you want and you're like, oh God, I got something that's just not hitting the spot. It
Right.
kind of drives up just a nail that you don't want. But
Oh, 100%. 100%.
well,
Like,
this
why did I waste money on this?
that's the worst. Is just wasting money. That's why buying this crap is just like, ugh.
It's like,
I'm like right here on it.
you're just forcing yourself at that point to finish it.
Oh, I am so close. But this is amazing, which I'm thinking on getting this next and doing the buy one get 50% off. Honestly, before we started this video, I thought that this said
I
buy
was
one
just getting
get
ready to say, do you want to talk about how you
150%.
thought that was get 150% off?
I didn't notice that there's a nice little space there,
Oh my God.
which if they would have spelled out one, it would make so much more sense. But
Well, okay, I'm gonna guess that they expect you, or expect whoever's looking at it, to understand that it's not 150% off, because they'd be paying you
well, no,
to
if you
buy it.
buy, basically you'd be getting this for almost $22. So
But
like
it says buy one get,
get
and what you thought was get
150%.
150% off means that get another one that is 150% off, which means they're paying you to get another one.
Basically. Well, anyway, I took it the other way, where it just takes off of the initial other price. But anywho,
But
it,
I mean, Miami Spring Break sounds like, I mean, it sounds very similar to a like not.
a
It's a little
tropical,
more
like this
diverse
tropical.
than cherry limeade. Like it's got some other flavors with it too. Like
Oh,
you said,
it's
it's got like
extremely
pineapple
close
and
to it.
coconut and stuff.
Yes. So it's really close to the cherry limeade, which
Mm-hmm.
probably why I fell in love with this.
Probably, to be
But
honest.
so I had this like 4 times,
Mm-hmm.
and well, my friend Logan, he would we'd take this before we go to work out,
Mm-hmm.
and he likes to wait around while taking it and then go. What really sucks is that you could be really, really full or something and then take this, which I don't recommend you being full and taking pre-workout, then going
Oh
working
no,
out. And
it's
then,
never a
then
good
you just
time.
feel awful. But kid
Then
you
you're gonna
not,
have then you're gonna have to take a dump really bad,
oh,
like
instantly.
in your second or third set of your first workout
Oh,
or
that
first exercise.
then you're just done after that. And it just
Oh yeah.
blows. But this thing would kick in no more or no less than 15 minutes, even with a full stomach. Like if you're
Dang.
no stomach, this thing would kick in. And I mean, the problem with this one is that you're extremely jittery if you're not moving already. If you're walking, you're fine. You won't be jittery, at least for
Uh-huh.
me. But this thing kept energy for me for at least an hour.
Dang.
Like,
That's pretty good.
like I made some amazing PRs for this or using this
Right.
just because I had the energy and I'm like, well, let's keep going. And then next thing you know, I'd be like extremely sore the next day and whatnot.
But that's
Oh,
that's what you want though. You want something that keeps you going for a while or at least gives you a decent amount of energetic boost.
yes. And this is one that I would
The
completely
only
consider.
the only thing that I see about this, and don't get me wrong, like Miami Spring Break sounds like a great flavor. I trust you and your judgment on how good it is. And it's probably got some decent ingredients and stuff in it too. The only problem is I see that the size is only 20 servings,
Yeah.
which is kind of small because most I think today are 30 servings. But I
30
mean,
for the
20
normal.
is not bad. 20 is better than, 10 or 15, which I've seen before in rare occasions. But 20 is better than those, but it still seems kind of low for
See,
this price.
for,
But again, you're not paying just for
oh,
serving size. You're paying for the flavor. You're paying for the
ingredients.
ingredients and all that kind of stuff.
Which I don't know if they just mix it extremely well. And I mean, 45 calories for a scoop. I know no one looks at calories when they're looking at pre-workout, but 45 is pretty low for as much stuff that they give you, and then how much energy boost it just keeps giving
Right.
you. But
Which
I
is
mean,
why you have it as a close number two.
oh yes, I mean, going into number one. Now that we're speaking at it, going oh, going to go into C4 Ultimate. That's
Which
probably my
is
number one.
your favorite and has been your favorite ever since I introduced it to you probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I'll say three. Three sounds
Some
all right.
something like that. It was definitely early on in our fitness journey.
Which I have been trying to, which I would recommend to all, is that you like hop off on some C4 or some like pre-workout, and then like do another one if you want, and then hop back on, and you get the same energy as when you first started. If
Hmm.
you just continue using it, I mean, your body's gonna get used to it. Your body adapts
Right.
to pretty much anything.
Yeah.
So
And I mean that's essentially what you need to do with every pre-workout that you take. Is you need to cycle on and off. You take it for a month or however many servings it has and then cycle off for a little while and then go back on it whenever you feel like you're ready for it.
yeah, and that's where I need to like take 2 or 3 weeks off of pre-workout in general once I'm done with
Yep.
pre-workout, just to let my body filter through. I know I'm gonna hate it because if the gyms start opening back up, I'm gonna be so mad because I'm gonna go in there with just no pre-workout or anything, and it's just gonna be exhausting.
At first, it does suck, but eventually you find the self-motivation and discipline to just do it. Because I used to do the same, where I would be on like C4, I'd be on some type of pre-workout for a month or so, or however many servings it had. And then I had to stop because I was getting ready to go into my collegiate athletics. And you have to be very careful when you're taking any sort of supplement outside of just like
Oh,
normal food. So I was like, I'm just gonna stop completely like taking them just to be safe. I mean, not that they're gonna check D3, but it's still a possibility. I didn't want to necessarily risk it. So I've been off for probably 2 or 3 years now. And there are some days it sucks and it's hard to get through them, which pre-workout would help with. But the main thing is that the first couple of weeks or so or month that I was off of it, it was hard to get through some of my workouts because I was used to going so much more intense. But eventually my body, I guess, just created its own energy, or I ate more or something. I don't know what it was. But
again.
eventually it wasn't as bad.
Oh, which I mean, I remember you talking to me about it and just being like, "Well, I'm dying. I need like I really need some like just like a kick just to
Mm-hmm.
keep going because some of those times you're like, man, I could have had that like that weight that I wanted to
Right.
strive
I could have
for,
gone for that PR. I could have gone for that max out or whatever.
but now you're like, well, I gotta do this, and now you got me thinking, well, I could save like 40-50 bucks just for the next month or so just by not taking pre-workout.
Right. And it'll be good for your body because eventually when you do decide to get back on it, it'll give you that energy boost again to better scale than what you're experiencing it now because you've been using it for so long. But going back to just looking at this C4, I mean, strawberry watermelon's a decent flavor. I'm not
It's
a big
probably my
watermelon
best
person.
watermelon flavor. Strawberry watermelon's like the best combo, I think, besides cherry limeade.
Yeah, I don't know if they have cherry limeade on this one, but I found a cherry limeade long time ago. I say long time ago. It was a few years ago. Found cherry limeade flavor a few years ago, and it was great. Like you said, I love the way that C4 made me feel, gave me a good energy, it felt like it gave me a good pump. So I also really like C4 as well, but then
Well,
again, that's just my opinion.
agreed, and this is all our just opinions, but this the only reason why this is my number one and not the Shattered
The
is just
muscle take
because,
shatter.
yeah, just because I mean I've been using this for basically years now, and
Mm-hmm.
it's never failed me.
Right.
I mean, if
It's the old reliable.
exactly. So if so, I went from this. Well, actually, sorry, I went from a couple scoops of this
Mm-hmm.
to this, and then I was like, oh, let's try something new to this.
Which was the worst
The
choice you could have
worst
made.
one. So
Well, the other thing you have to be careful with
this one,
and I'm not saying that
reliable.
C4 is bad or anything, but I have heard some people talk about C4 making them too jittery, which is
It
a
does.
totally like understandable. It happens with some people. So you just got to go out there and find which one gives you the right amount of energy, but not too much where it makes you feel out of control, energetic, and jittery.
And I feel like this. I mean, I honestly I do like the jitteriness only because it gets me going.
Right.
If I
Well,
get
that's
to
a
do
different. The jitteriness that I'm talking about is like when you take it and you're driving to the gym or whatever
and
and
you're
you can't
itchy.
focus at all.
Oh,
It's different from being like excited about your workout and being pumped and ready to do it. That's one thing. But being jittery of like not being able to focus on anything, that's a problem.
that's definitely a problem. I don't have that. I just have the itchiness and whatnot.
Right.
Where
You just want to be like, I want to get my workout in now because I feel
yeah,
good.
because I mean, yeah, it's just one of those things. But honestly, if I had to had the same amount of time with the pre-workout, this would be my number one.
Mm-hmm.
Really would. And if Jared has nothing else to share, that should be it for our little segment here for describing our top, or my top 5
Yeah,
pre-workouts.
I'll look into some others. I've got a couple that I like, but like I said, I've been off of pre-workout for a while just because of college career and stuff.
Yeah.
So once eventually, like you said, gyms start to open back up and, we start to be safe with this pandemic and stuff, and I'm able to get back in the gym, and when I start getting back into, mass gainers, pre-workout, stuff like that, I'll definitely look into looking at the ingredients and options more because I want to get back into it. But as of right now, I haven't really taken any because of feeling the need to stay off it because I don't want to risk it. But
And who knows, the next video that we might make is actually maybe a post-workout, which you're very familiar with, which you
yes, I take a lot of post-workout not preteen, protein and other sort of post-workout supplements because that is safer to use than any sort of like pre-workout or anything.
which
For athletes, I should say, college athletes.
agreed. And that will probably be more tailored for you.
Right.
Which
I've definitely got a lot of opinions on that stuff, especially with a lot of flavors. But yeah, that'll be a whole nother video that we'll do.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Jared can do his scientific stuff, and I will chime in, try and sound smart on some of those things.
Well, you could always ask questions about them because, like I said, I've got a background in chemistry and stuff, but it has been over 2 years now, I think, maybe a year and a half since I've done any sort of chemistry or biochemistry. So I'm a little bit rusty, but
it's still
know a little
something.
bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, guys, we'll catch you later. See ya.
Yep. So enjoy this. Take it as you will. Again, this is just our opinion. This is the flavors that we like and how we feel taking these. Be sure to leave in the comments or email us what you think are your opinions on these supplements or others, ones that you like, ones that you don't like. Feel free to reach out to us.